Welcome to Surprisingly, a podcast that invites a stranger to sit down and have a conversation. No agenda, no planned questions, just two people connecting. I'm your curious host, Bridget Denahan. Today on Surprisingly, I'm sitting with Bennett. Yes, our podcast is about inviting total strangers for a conversation about anything and everything. But full disclosure, I have actually met Bennett in passing once. We talk about that. Plus, we dive into how he grew up and how losing both his mother and one of his sisters changed him. He also explains Stoicism as his framework for living and extols the benefits of goat milk soap. Let's get into it. We're going to start now. Andrew, Jonathan, quit dicking around. We're ready to go.
We've been waiting for you this whole time.
I know. Hi, Bennett.
Hello, Bridget.
How are you?
I'm swell.
First of all, thank you for being here. You are our first official guest on
Numero
the podcast.
Uno.
Yeah, it's all you, baby. So the idea of this podcast, as I mentioned in our email,
Barely.
I mean, that's how we keep it spicy, baby. We don't tell you much of anything.
Eventually.
The podcast is kind of about nothing. We're going to go on a little journey together and see where the conversation leads. Really, that is, there's no secret sauce. We're not keeping things from you. We're just going to have a conversation.
An adventure. Of tongues.
Are you giving me a power triangle with your fingers is what I want to know, first of all.
I don't know what a power triangle is, so I will stop doing things with my fingers.
I noticed earlier before we started, I don't know if the camera can see this, but it's this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nonverbal, control signal, just
Oh,
so
really?
you know.
Okay, I will try to be more aware of that. I do that thing where I play with my fingers, so maybe I've just been asserting myself my whole life, but...
Well, I was noticing before we started that both you and I stupidly wore bracelets because I'm a big hand talker. Like, I need these.
Yeah, and you love background.
I do. Little background noise to keep things fresh.
Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle, yeah. But you also talk with your hands.
Of course. I'm half Italian and half Caribbean, so the Italian side kind of holds it together.
Tell me more.
My parents met in an elevator and they had babies. How much more?
All of it. Because
So-
do you know much about how that elevator situation happened? Please, let's
This
get
is a
into
fun
it.
one.
Give it
it's
to
probably
us.
the best story about my parents. My mom immigrated to the United States as a kid from Grenada.
What's her name?
Frances.
Stop it.
They all have
Gorgeous.
these like English names. They're all from an English Caribbean island.
Okay.
They are, making their way. They're all in medical fields, whatever. My mom wants to be a dancer. So she's a contemporary dancer in New York. She lived with somebody who was in a Broadway show or something like that. And my dad had moved to New York as a theater major from the Midwest. Italian-American guy, wanted to move to New York, hated his family, the story we've all heard. And
Where in the Midwest, I have to say, as a Midwestern girl.
he's a Michigander.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
he likes
well,
apples and apple picking. And
up north.
he thinks all the lakes are so clean and he loves fishing. So anyways, he lost his accent in New York because he had to. He was working in theater and TV commercials. My mom's roommate sets him up with her. She was wearing a jacket that has the Chorus Line logo on it, and they are in the elevator together, and he asks her if she was in the Chorus Line, which she got very offended by, because she was a contemporary dancer, not a Broadway dancer, and she said something like, "I'm not a Broadway gypsy," or something like that.
We can't say that word anymore. Do you know that? We can't say that.
This is the 70s or 80s, whatever. So, right? And she's Caribbean, so politically correct is not what they do either. They just say what pops in.
Love it.
And then he follows her to her apartment.
Light stalking immediately.
And then the roommate opens the door, and she had made dinner for both of them and then left. And that was how they met.
Okay, so your mom insults him right away, which stop my beating heart right now. That's the woman for me.
Yeah, she just claws.
Yeah, sasses him immediately. He then gets immediately obsessed, follows her home, which we don't do, ladies and gentlemen.
But it was a planned follow. It was a planned follow. He was told to arrive at the apartment for this dinner.
So when she saw him they're in the apartment.
Yeah, they're in the apartment building.
In the apartment elevator. Okay.
Oh, I skipped that part. Should I start over?
Or I'm a bad listener.
No,
I should have a
did
podcast.
not. I inferred that or implied that. I did not. You would have had to infer that. I did not say they were in her apartment building's elevator. I didn't say that.
Okay. So the elevator moment is happening and she's like,
And they get off on their floor. Her floor.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And then he follows her out of the elevator to her apartment where he was told to meet her.
Okay. So not light stalking. Your dad is still okay.
To her, she's being stalked. This floor has 2 apartments in it.
Okay.
One on the right, one on the left. Like, he's not going to the other one.
No, he's not. Okay. Follow-up question. Did she or did she not know? She knew it was a date.
She did not know she was set up on a date either. So she finds all of this out when her roommate opens the door.
Okay.
And then they fell in love.
So how
is this the opposite of that triangle thing?
Yes, doing this. How do you feel about this?
About the heart?
Yeah, tell me.
Like my own?
Not
or just the hand gesture?
The hand gesture.
Oh, I mean, I think it's silly and I love silly things.
Okay. Thank you for answering that question. Okay, I do have a follow-up question. I want to know how quickly they fell in love and like when they each tell that version of the story, like when did they know it was, I guess, when did they know the sauce was officially happening?
I think for them it was pretty immediate. They just agreed on most things. Growing up, they never really argued. They were kind of both always set in sort of deferring to each other when they knew to defer.
Okay.
As a kid, it was very clear who to go to for what thing.
Okay.
It was just very simple. But they're not frivolous people. They're very conservative people. So everything was very, make it yourself, do it yourself. Read books, play outside in the woods, very...
like independent spirit, right?
Yeah, and my mom was very old island type. So, she wasn't into fancy things or devices or technology. She used things that she needed to use, but they were very laid back for a lot of it. We played a lot of sports, but my mom would like send us outside and ring a bell when we were supposed to be home outside. Like ring a bell in like the suburbs of New Jersey. Like she was that lady.
So tell me, this is interesting because my husband, who's
where?
Yeah, right there, that handsome guy who produces this podcast. And also we have the lovely Andrew. We can't forget him too. Hello, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm very interested in this kind of generational thing, right? Like if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
31.
But a wee babe.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 31, and yet...
Sorry, I'm doing math to double check. Yes.
I know, right? After 25, do we even know how old we are? Maybe.
I'm 31, I'm sure.
My last birthday, I straight up had a back and forth argument with Jonathan about how old I was in the car because I didn't know.
I don't quite care.
Me either. But it is interesting when we're talking about our childhoods and kind of what that looked like and what was acceptable and how much free space you had to roam. I know Jonathan talks about, leaving on his bicycle and being clear across town for most of the day, and coming home at night. And, mine was a similar experience. Although he grew up in the city, I grew up in a very rural, small town. But so...
Whereabouts?
I am from a very small one-stoplight town in northwest Kansas. One stoplight.
Northwest Kansas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I grew up in a town called Hill City.
I would never have heard of it.
No, you wouldn't
Goodness. One stoplight town. How many people? Like
1,500.
Ooh. Okay. You knew everybody.
Everybody.
And they knew
and
you.
they knew what you did at 6 p.m. last night.
They knew what you did.
Yes.
I'm going to tell everybody and your mother.
This summer. Yeah. I won't go into this story, but on my 16th birthday, I got a very, very ugly pea green Cutlass Supreme and immediately proceeded to...
I don't even know what that looks like, but I can imagine.
It's
pea green,
a tank. It did have a 350 engine in it, though. She had some giddy up.
I have to translate all the car speak for me.
It would haul balls, as they say. It was a very powerful engine.
Like when you revved the engine, the backside of the car went down a little bit you went forward.
Yeah, you could definitely
feel the inertia.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I immediately put it in a ditch on my 16th birthday, the day that I got it. Thanks. And my parents for sure knew within the hour what had happened, even though I had gone to the car wash, cleaned the car up, like hid the evidence. I pulled into the driveway and like my parents were standing
just
there,
waiting for you.
Just waiting to ground me.
Yeah.
Need fresh content like social and web assets, copywriting, and more? Visit freshconsumables.com. So you were left to your own devices during the day as a child. Mm-hmm. And how do you think that shaped you?
Gave me a lot of, I think, the opportunity to, I just would try things. I don't care what people think about it. I don't care if I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, I put it down.
Let's talk about siblings really quick because I think this is important. Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a younger sister, and then I had an older sister through childhood who died when we were kids.
Okay.
But yeah, so there were three of us most of the time growing up.
What's the age gap between you all?
My older sister was 1 year and 5 days older, and then my younger sister is 4 years younger than me about.
Okay, we're going to circle back to that if you feel comfortable talking about it. Okay. So tell me more. So you're not like an only child. You're one of three, but still having this culturally rich, it sounds like. And what I mean by that is like, you are of an age that's younger than me, and yet you got this experience that only people I feel like my age and older had, where it was this free roaming experience. And I feel like it sounds like that's cultural. Like,
yeah, I mean, that was how it was for them. My dad, I think, sort of adopted that by being part of a Caribbean family, and all my Caribbean family that immigrated to the United States lived near us, like walking distance to my house. That was how they lived. So to them, it was crazy to be very far away unless work made you go there. So my uncle who lived in Maryland had a private plane because he was in the military and then the NSA, and he would just fly up on weekends with his family.
To be together.
Were always around. We were always at my aunt's house, sitting by the pool. You could walk in unannounced and just walk in the back door. It was open and free-flowing like it had been for them growing up. And we just learned consequences. You were just more responsible as a kid. We were taught as little children to speak to adults. Like I would get into an argument with an adult, a teacher. I didn't care. If I thought they were wrong or they didn't see something, we were just raised that way. Like,
so you were also placed on equal footing with adults.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And Caribbean parents would talk to us like adults. They talked about adult things around you. They didn't hide things or treat children as
precious and delicate.
Yeah, breakable. You fell down at a Caribbean person's house. They just watched you until you got up.
Okay. Was there comfort?
Yeah. There was comfort, there was love, there was fun, lots of fun.
But it sounds like they were building resilience.
A lot of resilience. And they were resilient. I mean, they were immigrants. So, it's part of their whole ethos. You can go to them for anything, but everyone's very hard when it comes to how they take on challenges. But their professions, too. My grandmother she taught the new mothers in the hospital because she'd been a nurse in Grenada.
Okay.
Couldn't be a nurse in the United States.
Okay.
But at the hospital in the town she immigrated to, she would teach all of the new mothers how to take care of their young. her daughter, my aunt, ran the maternity ward for decades of that hospital later. Another aunt was a professor. Uncle was in the military and then NSA. My mom's the only one who was like, I want to go into fine art. But everybody else was, taking on professions that they couldn't do back home, or that the reasons they had left, right? That they were going to not take on a challenge, right? They loved challenges. They dove into them. And so as kids, you did too. And that was just, you went out and got hurt. Okay, you got hurt. Let's deal with the getting hurt part. But I mean, don't not go out there again. Like, we're not going to tell you to get out of the tree.
It's amazing. So we started the conversation talking about the partnership and how your parents very quickly fell in love. It's such an interesting pairing between an Islander and a Midwesterner, because as a Midwesterner, I feel like we're a little bit that way too, where it's like, figure it the fuck out.
Oh, we can curse? Oh, thank God.
Oh yeah, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Settle in. Have a little drink. We're pausing for a bevy. Are you guys doing okay?
This is iced coffee, by the way.
Okay, I'm gonna have a drink too.
Oh.
And
some water.
Thank you for being so open. And
oh my
sharing.
God.
I'm gonna adjust my bra. I've got a little tit sweat. Okay.
I can't smell it. You're fine.
Okay. Do you want to smell it?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Right.
I'm getting the vibe. Okay. No marriage. No. Okay. Got it. No smelling.
I'm not like against these things. I'm definitely not an absolutist.
We might be getting back to that. Okay. Are you ready to continue? If you don't mind, so we've talked a little bit about your family. Will you share your experience growing up and having lost a sibling and what that was like for you, if you feel comfortable sharing?
Well, I mean, it's traumatizing, obviously, to some extent.
Trauma's part of life.
Yeah. I mean, that's my first lesson in it. My sister committed suicide when I was 16, 17.
How old was she?
She was 18, I think. So we'd grown up together because we were a year apart. So all of our friends were shared. We had like this large group of friends that was just across both age groups. We all played the same sports. She played a lot of men's sports, so we had lots of the same teammates.
When you say men's sports, what do you mean? Like there was a blended...
She played boys baseball.
Okay.
She played boys basketball. She was a really good athlete and was better than most of the girls in her age groups. So she would often play on the boys teams.
In school?
In school, yeah, because she could compete was
she also tall?
She was tall she was tall. So for in boys, she was more of like a point guard and a shooting guard in basketball and stuff when she played. Baseball, she played second base a lot.
Okay.
But I was a pitcher. I was the more solitary one, and she was the more outgoing one. So kind of had that little yin and yang thing. I feel like her death also allowed me to blossom in a way that is, I know I've heard other people that I've talked to who've lost a sibling. We all kind of share that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where it's like the parts of you that that the other person was better at, you just didn't really lean into or try in a lot of ways. A lot of my femininity came out of me after she was gone because, well, she always didn't want to do the feminine stuff. She didn't want to be seen that way. She wanted to be more of a jock and an athlete in a lot of ways. And that meant that there was zero space for me to do any of those things. Like I wanted to do dance, couldn't do dance.
To be feminine or to be masculine?
To be feminine.
So
I had to reinforce masculinity because she was leaning towards masculinity in some ways.
That's interesting.
That's just the way I felt, right? It's not like no prescribed, there's no like prescribed rules around it. It's the way I felt about it. Almost kind of like it's like you just don't have a choice, right? Like you're 12 or 13 and people expect whatever they expect of you. And if you have a desire, often people will tell you whether they think it is what you should desire or not. And then you learn very quickly just to not talk about it to those people. And then when you're outside of that context, and you try it out for the first time, it's very easy to be like, oh, I've liked this forever.
What was your approval? What did your approval circle look like at that stage in your life in childhood? So you're talking about presenting either masculine or feminine or a blend of the two.
Yeah.
Who were you looking to in your life? And the obvious answer is your parents, but who was, of course, ourself is a different thing, like what you're allowing yourself to do. But who were you imagining was going to approve or disapprove of you?
Ooh. I mean, I just knew who would or wouldn't because they would
Tell
say
me,
it. So like,
if that's okay to share.
It's a reinforcement of like, we love you no matter what and however you are. But then a comment about, well, boys don't like those things. Okay. And it's subtlety. It's just how people perceive the world in the 2000s, I think, in a lot of ways. It's not direct, right? There's no one telling you that choice. I don't like that choice. Do something different. It's more your judgments, the passing judgments that people spread out into the world from all your family members. Caribbeans are not the most LGBT friendly people.
Okay.
There's just a lot of old traditional conservative mindset. I don't mean politically conservative, I just mean conservative, just traditionalist, very religious in some respects, liberal in a lot of ways, but have clear expectations and clear ideas about what things are, open to changing their minds and whatnot. But you just grow up in that context. So that's just the soup you're floating in, and you don't do anything about it until you are out.
You float till it's time to eat that soup, baby.
Yeah, and then you swallow it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, there's no soup left. I'm sorry. I ate your soup. But do you like my new shawl?
Listen, let's...
And they get over it.
Let's ignore all of this deep familial talk and let's talk about clothes.
Clothes.
I do like your shawl.
Thank you.
Do you like my vintage sweater?
I do. I want to take it from you.
I did think about you when I was dressing today.
Did you?
I really did.
Yeah.
This is a very...
So no camo today.
No camo. Okay, so we should right here pause and say, on this podcast, my goal is to sit with strangers. You are, in fact, a stranger to me.
Absolutely.
But we have met one time at the farmer's market.
Yes.
So for context, for listeners, Fresh Consumables Studio has done work for your company.
Yeah, really good work for my company.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my company, it's a soap company. My business partner, Michael, makes amazing soap bars. They're goat milk soaps. I think we gave a bunch to the office as a gift.
Oh, I have them. I've sent them to friends. I'm deep up in it. I used it this morning in my shower.
Oh, me too.
What'd you use?
I used eucalyptus tea tree soap and avocado sea salt lotion.
Okay. I'm with, what's the cedarwood combo?
Cedarwood tea tree. This brings us back to the whole camo thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, pause. What's the name of your company?
Lynchburg Soap Company.
Okay.
The video that Fresh Consumables did is just a brand video. It introduces us to the world. We've been around for a few years, but it's really just showcasing our factory, our process, the people that work with us, and a little bit about, why we love soap and why we love helping people's bodies.
I'm going to give you a little bit more space to plug, Bennett. Please tell the people why they should use goat's milk soap.
So goat milk. Goat milk is been used for a really long time for soap making. Lots of ruminant milk has been used. So donkey milk.
What is that word that you just used?
What's
I'm
a
ruminant? Dummy. Tell me.
Ruminants. They are a type of mammal. They are known for having a four-chambered stomach, and they chew cud.
Never heard. As a Midwestern girl, I am sitting in my shame soup that I haven't yet eaten, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I just made a new bowl for you.
Right now.
So anyways, they chew their food, they swallow it, it goes into one chamber, they spit it back out, they chew it again, swallow it, and it works their way through their stomach. They digest hardy grasses and stuff like that.
Okay.
Their milk is really close to human breast milk, and we can't milk humans. So we milk ruminants.
But can't we? Let's
You
get
get into
weird.
this ethical thing about like how do you keep a mammal
Not-
producing milk for a long time, and
Not forced milking.
Yeah, our vegan friends are so mad right now.
So
They're
mad.
like, oh god, yeah. But so yeah. Anyways, goat milk. It helps with eczema, psoriasis, stuff like that. Dry skin. There's some good proteins in it. There's lactic acid in it, vitamin A. So lots of customers who look for goat milk soap have dry skin conditions. They have really sensitive skin. It's a lye-based soap, so it's made the old-fashioned way. It's going to clean pretty well, and it's not going to leave a residue on your skin.
It doesn't. I can attest to that.
Oh, good.
Plug.
And then we do have like unscented stuff for people who are really sensitive, because fragrances can. People can be allergic to fragrances. They can generally have health issues that make it not safe for them to use a lot of fragrance or essential oil. So we have both scented stuff and unscented stuff for different types of skin and bodies.
Where can the ladies and thadies find you on the internet?
So we are at lynchburgsoapcompany.com. We ship all across the United States, and we do $5.95 flat rate shipping as well. So we try to keep it affordable because sensitive skin doesn't really care how much money you make. Our bars are priced about 80% of market value for handmade soaps, and we just keep the cost down by having like basically a wholesale model for customers. So we drive our costs down. We make a lot of product in bulk. We sell in bulk. And customers love us. We love them.
We love that for the people. And this is not, this has nothing to do with our business, but I've used it and I love that dang soap. And I'm a big scent nerd.
Ooh, yeah.
And you saw me smelling the goods.
Yeah.
So for more context, Jonathan, who is both the studio manager for Fresh Consumables and the producer of this podcast, we were at the farmer's market and your soap company was there representing. And I got to meet you for the first time, and I was indeed wearing camo pants, as I am wont to do.
Going out without pants on, as I say.
Who could find me?
I did.
I'm a lady of the woods in my mind.
Like, oh, goodness gracious. You're invisible. I love telling that joke to like large men in camo when they come to my store. Oh, they find it the funniest.
They need it. They deserve that.
They like bend over laughing.
Yeah.
And they just love compliments too.
Men do love. Are these straight men? Are we thinking?
Course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We don't, as a society, compliment straight men enough. And I'm not here for it. I will compliment any fool on the street.
I feel like our society is just a pendulum that all it does is swing. It never sits still.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So whenever we're treating one group a little too nice, we're treating another group a little too not nice. We're never just being fair.
Or sweet to each other. Let's be
kind,
Let's be sweet to
kindness.
each other. So speaking of sweet, I do indeed love your thrifted cardigan, and I know it's thrifted because you told me earlier.
Yes. I would never pay for this in full monies.
That's a thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, this old thing, I'd never pay money for it.
I'm proud of it. I found it. And I was like, it's not worth what you said it's worth.
I get things cheap. Actually, that's a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah. Southern thrift is so much fun. I got this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sidebar t-shirt.
We love the turds.
I wore it for a whole day thinking everyone was going to compliment it. I was wearing overalls. It was like a whole fit. And then I looked in the mirror and I realized that my overalls were covering almost the entire part of the shirt that you could see and compliment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I just wore it again the next day.
I would have... I am a fan of... Oh, did we lose our camera?
Yes.
Oh, no.
That's all right. We were at the end of clip.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll pause.
All right.
I had to switch my legs.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
Do this.
yeah.
Stretch them out.
It just hit stop.
Long leg club.
I know. I hate airplanes.
Maximum recording
Same.
time.
You're doing great.
okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I do love talking about that stuff,
Yeah, so
though.
it's going now.
I love
Yeah,
talking about
I think it's just
anything and
putting it-
everything. And I don't know if you're this type
So-
of person in society, but like I will sit next to a motherfucker and we're like, in
Oh,
it.
I will tell somebody, like, if there's a Nazi at the bar, I'm going to be the one talking to the Nazi.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, explain this to me.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. How? So
Yeah.
what did your dad do?
Yeah. Tell me about let's start with
Yeah,
your dad.
like I'm
actually.
so
For
interested
sure.
in how you believe any of this stuff. But like I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm not out here. I don't care about changing people's minds. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like I have my mind. I'm very happy with it. I know
Yeah.
how I think of myself. I know what I believe. That's great.
Yeah.
Unless you're affecting my business, I don't really care what you think.
But you're a curious person in the world. Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what's
happening over there.
what's in there.
In there.
Yeah.
Even with hateful people.
Oh,
Let's
they're the
talk
most
about it.
interesting. Well, because like I kind of look at it like I don't believe in karma, but kind of like a karmic sort of thing where
You don't believe in it, and yet here you are.
it's a good way to describe it, metaphorically speaking.
Okay.
Right. So, like in karma, they talk about like what you put out into the world, right, comes back to you. And people who are really hateful, who are mean, who are always looking for a reason to be upset, I always imagine what it's like to be in their head
Yeah.
and how they talk to themselves. That was like the biggest unlock
Yeah.
of just being like, wow.
Your inner world must be a hot pile of garbage if you're putting this into your exterior world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can only hope. Sometimes,
I'm sticking with that.
well,
I'm sticking with that story.
it certainly makes.
Gives me compassion and empathy.
Yeah.
Clap really quick, Bridget. All right. Yes. Bennett.
Clap.
All right. I'm going to give you how do you feel about 5 or 6 more minutes before I give you like a 5-minute warning, and that'll give us about a little over 30 minutes worth of stuff if we're trying to cut back to around 20.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah,
work?
that's fine.
Okay.
Ish topic, find out whatever you want to talk about, and then maybe that'll segue into like,
So we don't jump around a ton. We've talked a little bit about fashion and how much we love thrifting. We've talked about how your parents met. We've plugged your soap company,
Yeah.
as we should.
Important.
I would like to dig in a little bit more into, we sort of talked about gender roles a little bit and losing your sister
Yeah.
and how that affected you. Are your parents still living?
My mom is dead as well.
Okay. You said earlier your sister's passing allowed you to sort of blossom. And guilt is weird, and guilt, not guilt.
Yeah.
Grief, rather. Grief is weird, and grief is forever, right? And it's always changing.
It's like a warm, heavy blanket.
It is.
It doesn't ever quite cover you enough.
Yeah. So talk to me about your sister's absence and how that's affecting you now, or is it? And also the loss of your mother, if you don't mind.
Yeah. They're both they're two of the most important moments in my life. My mom's passing was far easier. She had cancer. I was always precocious, so she sat us all down.
You don't say.
I know. She sat us down at dinner and told us her diagnosis and then lied a little bit about how the prognosis would be. And I was like, I don't know what bullshit is, but that sounds like some bullshit.
You knew immediately.
I just knew that she was no longer being clear about the prognosis. So I went and looked it up. Then I went and talked to her, and she was like, yes, it's terminal.
Don't you love it when your mother lies to you? Mine lies.
Depends on the lie.
Mine lies too.
She didn't usually lie. This is not a woman who lied a lot.
But you called it. Like you sniffed it out immediately.
Oh, yeah. And when I called her out on it, she just told me.
Good for her.
I made the choice to only go to sports, come back from school, and spend time with my mom.
This was when you were young.
15, 16. I did it for 2.5, 3 years.
My love.
Barely spent time with friends. I would go occasionally, or she'd make me and stuff like that. But it was I was like, why would I do that?
How old were you when you
That's so
lost
silly.
your sister?
It was a year after. So my mom died when I was 16, and my sister died when I was 17. Or I guess I just turned 17 when my mom died.
The suicide of your sister,
Yeah.
that is perhaps, and I don't know, but I would guess that's one of the most difficult grief processing journeys for loved ones. Do you feel like you have the why answered, and you don't have to share if you have it? It can be a yes or no question of your sister's passing to satisfy your
Curiosity?
hunger, your curiosity or the hunger of your own grief, right?
We don't have the time to get into this part, but so philosophically speaking, I'm a Stoic, not like the Ryan Holiday type. You know, I studied classics, and I like the classic Stoics.
So you're snotty about your Stoicism, would you say?
A little bit, yeah.
I love it.
I keep it to myself, the snottiness, but I am.
Are you, though? Are you keeping it fully to yourself?
Oh, no, it guides how I act in the world and what I talk to people about all the time. But
we do love a Stoic.
Yeah.
Please continue. I love that.
But I learned to accept that why wasn't the right question. It was more about what was important to me was appreciating the time I did have, and channeling that into an understanding of presence. So that was sort of what got me out of the guilt, which is what I thought you were talking about earlier.
It's so funny that I accidentally used that word, but
you know, you kind of like turn around and you realize, that's not the point. The point is just right now. And what do I do right now?
So how old were you when you got into, and that's probably not the right phrasing, but started researching Stoicism?
Well, my parents read the classics as well. So it
Nerds.
was always around.
Made by nerds.
You know, it wasn't taught to me as this is Stoicism, blah, blah, blah. But it was Marcus Aurelius. Like, you know, I was learning Latin at 11. So you start reading Cicero and...
Not only is he good looking, ladies and gentlemen.
Well read.
He's a learned man.
Yes, I like books.
And is he single or?
I have a boyfriend who also likes books.
He's not single. Too bad, so sad for all of you. Okay, continue.
There we go. That's the end.
And I'm taken.
No, so, I mean, I just, you know, have developed a view of the world and my life in which here and now is more important. I don't believe in a God. I'm a determinist, so, you know.
I don't know what that means. Tell me more.
I understand. The theory of determinism is that biologically, neurologically, evolutionarily, there is no cause that is not caused by some previous cause. You know,
Cause and effect.
Yes,
is a real thing.
So, for example, if you are a murderer who is on death row and you've done something horrible, and I were to switch every atom of my body with that person, I would just be that person. I would be that person with that background, his parents, whatever was going on in utero, his grandparents.
And you would get the
back.
same result.
You get the same result.
Okay.
You can only measure things by what happens in the present, is another way to kind of view it, is that, you know, there is no other way for this conversation to have happened.
Because I'm here and you're here with all our...
And it's happening.
Cute little vintage loving cells in our body.
So that's just determinism in a nutshell.
Thank you for explaining that. Lastly, this is a bit of a zinger. I know we have to wrap it up, and I hate that for us because I could be here for a good hot 5 more hours.
Oh, easy. But zing me.
During a break, when we were... I say we as if I have a job that's messing. We watched the boys in the room mess with the cameras. So when we were taking a break, you were talking about how, or we were discussing how we're both people in the world who can talk to strangers and have these deep, intimate conversations with people. Tell me more about what you were saying, and this goes back to determinism and a little bit Stoicism, like, if I were you, I'm going to do exactly what you are doing, right? You were saying during the break that you have a lot of empathy for people you don't agree with and how that kind of shows up in your life. I love how you spoke about your curiosity.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
Absolutely. There's just so focusing on the present means that I didn't choose to put you in front of me right now. I didn't choose to put, if it's a Nazi in a bar, the Nazi in the bar next to me. Mm-hmm. What can I do right now? I could throw something at the Nazi.
You could.
I could scream at the Nazi.
You could.
I could sit down next to the Nazi and ask him how his day's been.
Why is it a man? It's always a man.
Because women are just less likely. So I feel like statistically, if there's a Nazi in a bar who's openly a Nazi and you can identify them, it's got to be a guy.
We all know it's a guy.
It's a guy.
It's a straight guy.
And his hair is really short. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have blue eyes because he's also a hypocrite. Anyways, so I would ask the Nazi about himself. I'd want to know more about this person. It's the only opportunity I have for one, especially if I really disagree with them. People you agree with just kind of tend to tell you what you want to hear. Whereas people who disagree with you don't have a motive in your opinion. They just kind of express themselves. And it's a much more open environment for a conversation. And then you just have to manage the conflict that might arise out of it. But that's, I always learn more in those situations.
In conflict.
Conflict being just disagreement or, misunderstanding. There's just more there.
Would you feel more comfortable if I just started kicking you in the shin so we can create a little bit of, so you can fully enjoy yourself?
I really don't like physical conflict. I really hate physical conflict.
Only emotional, spiritual, intellectual conflict.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Yeah, there's such a difference. Like, if you're going to harm my bones, I'm going to leave.
I'm going to exit. Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I can do in this moment is I can get up and walk out of here.
I act, that was a joke, by the way.
Oh, I know. You would never kick me unless I asked you to.
Spicy. Okay, so we've done this whole show and we haven't, and by we, I mean me, I haven't had a chance to just tell you, one, how beautiful your eyes are.
Aww.
So thank you for allowing me to gaze upon
Thank
them,
you.
sharing this
I
space
love
with
good
me.
eye contact, too.
I do too.
It's a good recharge.
It is a good recharge. Eye gazing, as they call it, right? And I need to tell you, you have stunning hair. That's it.
Thank you.
We can't end the pod without me telling you about your luscious curls. Yes. They're so pretty.
This is something I grew out after I was able to. I just stopped cutting it. I was like, this is so stupid. Why have I never grown my hair?
Why?
And then I just
Why
was
indeed?
like, that was ridiculous.
Well, it's stunning. Thank you for bestowing your locks upon the people. We deserve it. We earned it, and so did you.
If I could cut my hair off and give it to everyone, I would do that, and I would fix the world.
I think you might.
I'd start with Donald. Oh. We can dye it red.
Pray for Donald, even if you don't believe in God.
Oh,
because he needs it.
Empathy doesn't extend so far.
You would give him a wig, though. You'd give that man a wig of your own locks.
I'd at least rip that thing off his head first.
I mean, it's majestic in its incompetence. I will say that.
You got to cut this part, but it's like Hitler's mustache.
I will cut that. I will maybe not cut that part. Bennett, thank you. I mean it.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
I liked it too. We're just going to cut the cameras and get rid of the microphones and do this hopefully for another 3 hours.
Yeah. Do we have to get rid of the microphones?
No.
It encourages me to be more frisky.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've loved this experience. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, boys. Our show is executive produced by Sherry Day, Farley Day, and John Arnold. Produced, edited, and engineered by Jonathan Cossack. Additional camera work by Andrew Herner. Designed by Josh Ford. If you live in the Nashville area or are visiting soon and want to be a guest, email us at jonathan@freshconsumables.com. That's JONATHAN@freshconsumables.com. Want to hear more of Surprisingly's meaningful and unpredictable conversations? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Bridget Deanahan. Thanks for listening.